Today I'm going to be showing off the Bench AI Docs accessibility tool for Google Docs. Our tool allows users to scan and remediate all issues on their document through the Google Docs editor, so you don't have to leave the environment you're comfortable with. Let's start off by installing it. If I go to the extension store and then I click on add-ons, you can see that there's a way for me to acquire add-ons. If I hit get add-ons, it'll actually open up the entire marketplace. Here you have access to a bunch of tools listed on the Google Apps Marketplace. So what I want you to do is type Bench AI, and you'll see that it autocompletes to Bench AI Docs. If we go there, we can now install it. It's just going to ask me to choose my account. You'll have to agree to consent to using the certain scopes that we require. And once you do that, you should be good. It'll begin the installation process. Perfect. Now if you click on extensions, you'll see Bench AI Docs appears. Just hit launch. Give it a second and it'll load up. If your admin has not added your account to Bench AI Docs, you won't actually see the screen and it'll ask you to sign up. Notify your administrator and they'll let us know and we'll have your account ready and running. But now let's go through the actual application. There are three main sections. There is Scan, Tools, and Document Info. Scan is where we will scan your document for accessibility issues. Tools is where we put long-running accessibility issues that you can scan for independently. You should also run these scans as well. And Document Info gives you basic info on your document, including the title. In this case, I haven't titled it anything. It lets you choose which font family you want to use, how you want to interact with your tables in terms of marking them for headers, and stuff generally in that domain. Let's go ahead and run a scan to begin with. So this tool is meant to be used as you are constructing your document, and as you are making it, you should periodically scan for issues that may violate accessibility policies. So in this case, we have quite a few. We have issues related to fonts, contrast, images, and headers. So let's go ahead and give it a look, starting from the bottom. It's letting me know that I have no level 1 heading. It also tells me the exact WCAG issue it's referencing, and if I click on this link, it'll take me to the exact WCAG section. In this case, it's letting me know that a level 1 heading was not found. Well, if I were to add a level 1 heading, and then I were to run this again, you'll notice that that issue goes away. There is no longer a level 1 heading issue. However, let's say I didn't want to go through the process of looking through the document and figuring out an appropriate level 1 heading. If I were to hit fix all issues, it will actually read through my document and apply a appropriate level 1 heading for me. There you go. So now that we have this heading in place, you can see that this general trend of fixing all issues is present for almost every issue we come across. So if we've come across something that you need to fix, we always provide you with a quick solution that doesn't really require too much work on your end besides a singular button click. Let's go through some other issues that we found over here. So it's let us know that we have multiple issues with our font. First, there's a problem with our font family. In several locations, we have fonts that are inaccessible. If I hit locate here, it'll actually take me and show me where I'm missing that font. In this case, it's in this paragraph. As you can see, this paragraph does not use a consistent font, which is represented by a font being missing. It actually uses a combination of Arial and Cursiva. Cursiva is not an accessible font. So to address this issue, I can actually hit fix, and it will begin to change this paragraph to match Arial. If I wanted to use a different font family because I did not like it, we actually provide a list of font families that are all confirmed to be accessible. So in this case, let me set the Times New Roman. Run the scan again, just to make sure. And then I'll hit fix. Bam, the whole paragraph is Times New Roman. I'm going to keep it as Arial because I like Arial though. Great. Now, I can go through all these issues one by one, but if I hit fix all, it will again find other instances where my paragraphs are using an inaccessible font, and it'll go ahead and fix them. The same thing is true for font sizes. So if I locate this right here, it'll take me to a paragraph containing a font that is generally not accessible. Now this looks like it's accessible, but it's actually 0.11 font, and that's not okay. It needs to be a font size of 12 and higher. So if I hit fix, it will also increase the size of the text. Yep, it's gone a bit bigger, size 12. I can repeat this process for all other pieces of text here, and you should see a drastic change. Yep. Great. Let's move on to the next issue. Now we have a color contrast issue where text is necessarily hard to read. So if I locate this text, we'll see that this paragraph right here is extremely hard to read with a yellow and white background. So with yellow on the white background, if I hit fix, it will go ahead and change that text to black. However, there are some scenarios where a yellowish text might be embedded in a string, in a body of text. So over here, if I were to mark this as white, mark the text as white, it's actually embedded in a string, but it can't be scanned. It's embedded in the paragraph, but it's actually not caught here. That's because this is a longer scan that needs to be taking place. If you go to Tools, and here you hit Scan for contrast ratios, it will actually detect all instances of text that's hidden inside other paragraphs. If I locate this, you can see this paragraph is now highlighted, and I can go ahead and fix it. So when you're taking care of color contrast issues or any issues in general, always give the Tools tab a look and make sure that it's also been scanned as well. Since these are longer running scans, we generally keep them as optional processes that you can run just so that your general scans don't last too long. Next, let's go over this one, a nested header issue. So as you can see, it's saying that this header, which is an H1, and this header, which is an H3, are not compatible together. The reason is headers have to increase sequentially. So you can never do H1 to H3. It would have to be H1 to H2. So we can manually fix this by changing this to an H2. But again, if I hit fix all, it will go ahead and reorder the header for me. This is now an H2. The reason why this is so good is because there may be scenarios where fixing one header will make the next header invalid in the sequence. By hitting fix all, we take care of all edge cases for you and automatically adjust it as it's required. But let's say I kept this as an H1. What would happen? You would see that we have a nested header issue again and a multiple H1 issue, which is a new issue. If I hit fix all, it'll automatically fix the multiple H1 issue. And if I run the scan again, you'll see the nested header issue also goes away. So yeah, we handle both cases and every edge case possible when it comes to headers. Finally, the last major category before we move on to tables is images. You can see we have quite a lot of images here, but they're all missing alt text. So this one to the last one. We even have complex images, such as this. What's great about Branch AI is that we are able to detect if you're missing alt text, such as in these scenarios, and we apply the appropriate alt text for them. Let me give you a specific example. WCAG recommends that if an image is complex, that it has a long description attached afterwards explaining what's in the chart. In this case, if we were to locate this image, which I believe is the second to last, so I'm just going to do that and locate it, and now it should highlight it. If I were to hit fix, our AI will actually understand what's in this image, process it, and will insert an appropriate description afterwards, removing that burden from you. You'll just have to give it a second. And there you go. Not only does it provide an alt text, but it also provides a great description of what's going on here, allowing users suffering from visual disabilities to also understand what's happening in this image. And now, instead of me having to one by one go through each image, which I totally can hit locate, it'll take me to an image missing alt text, and then I can provide it myself manually. But again, just like with any other feature in Bench AI, we provide a fix all. And with the fix all, we'll manually go through each image and our AI will handle the alt text process for you. So what you're really understanding from our tool is that we're taking a very long remediation process and handling every edge case, every scenario, all through a simple click of the button. The work that you would have to do on your own is automated through our AI, through our artificial intelligence, and through just the application handling it for you, taking off a huge workload of the time. And there we go. Now if I were to look at each image, it'll have an alt text. Bench logo with the bench icon included. Historic university building with palm trees. Plant seedlings growing on stacked coins. We already saw that one. ERA logo with a colorful E icon. The final thing I'd like to go over before we go over let's just make sure that the scan is working properly and there's no issues detected here. No issues detected. Okay, now let's move on to checking for the other two minor scans. So the first one was contrast ratios. We already went over that, so that should return no errors. And now let's check for merge cells. In this case, it should detect merge cells in this table. So let's go ahead and scan for it. And as you can see, if I locate it, there's indeed a table with merged cells. In fact, this whole row is one giant merged cell. Now, fixing a table is a irritating process, especially if it has a merged cell. But our AI actually handles this completely for you. So, if I take a screenshot of this table, oops, it's the wrong one, like so. I'm just going to save that. I'll save it to my desktop for now. And I hit fix. I can actually choose that file. Should be in my recents. Like that. Send it over. And if I hit convert, our AI will analyze the table and will then prepare to insert the it will replace the table with a completely fixed version that we can then use. And there you go. It split it up into separate tables. We have an image gen table. So the previous table looked like this: image gen, MLOps, and docs. We have an image gen table with the same categories and the same values for each, and each of them are now completely accessible tables. Perfect. I'm just going to scan for merge cells one more time, and it should return nothing. Wow, that's about it. We've officially fixed every issue. Now we can go ahead and convert this into an accessible PDF. So let me go ahead and add a appropriate title. I'm going to call this demo document. I'm going to change the title. The title is now demo document instead of untitled document. I'm going to hit refresh tables to see all the tables that are present. All three of them are here as expected. And I'm just going to mark all their headers and all their columns as is this is a sorry, I'm going to mark all the columns as header rows so that users can then tell that this is a header, this is a header, this is a header. It's not an actual value, unlike these. And finally, I'm going to download this as a docx. Just save this into my downloads folder. And now if I hit download PDF, I upload that same docx, which I just added. So my downloads. There we go. And I'm going to hit convert. Now give that a couple minutes, and it will go ahead and convert all my tables, apply all the appropriate accessibility tags. After waiting a couple minutes, it seems that it's ready to be downloaded. So I'm going to go ahead and download that demo PDF. I'm just going to call it demo123 to make it easier to find. Save it. And now let's open that using Adobe. And start checking. And you can see we only have two issues, and that's logical reading order and color contrast, which both need manual checks. Adobe doesn't do it for you. We handle the color contrast for you, and the logical reading order is set by you as you create it, so that should also be good. But everything else passed. Passed. Page content, passed. Forms, passed. Alternate text, passed. Tables, passed. Lists, passed. And headings, all passed. Appropriate nesting. So, your accessibility check is complete. Your document is completely accessible. Congrats. Hope you enjoy. Reach out to us if you have any questions.